Welcome. Alright, welcome to the first of the first to 15 series for the Black Lives Matter movement that are going to be taking place throughout the week here on this channel, twitch.tv/Kitana_Prime. Out the gate, you know the reason why I'm here. You know the reason why the leaders and the people are revolting and taking the streets, standing up against the injustices and the clear existence of just pain, turmoil, systematic racism. It comes from the moment we born, and it's still going to this day. You can go back however many generations you want. You know what it is. As somebody with a platform, as a leader, somebody with a voice, I want to use that to try to help out in any way I could. So from here, from home, you know, we tap into Smash today. And we have ESAM and Samsora, who have both voluntarily pledged to do this set for us, give y'all some good content, and help raise some money in the scene that I have seen do many of good things for all causes. With this one, however, to be silent is to be complicit. And when I say scene, I don't just mean Smash, I mean all fighters, you know what I'm saying, platform, traditional, whatever you want to call it. Now is not the time for the pitchforks and the arguing over semantics and all that other stupid shit. It doesn't matter. You are living through, and to use the word revolution is not light. It's happening before your eyes. This is one of those sequences that can be once in a lifetime, and you're living it. Due to the popularity and essentially the world moving on the internet and social media, no longer are the days of the voices have to be quelled, forcibly closed, all of those things. You have the opportunity, you have the power, you have the access to force change, and you can do so in many different ways. Today, we are going to monetarily support whatever causes we can. Again, the rules are simple. ESAM has chosen a charity. Samsora has chosen a charity. The winning player takes all the proceeds and goes there. Panda Global is going to match the highest donation up to $500 either way, and myself personally, I'm going to donate $200 to the losing charity, whoever it is, just to make sure that we touch in every place we can go. Again, Smash Ultimate's early, so I had to go tap my mans, bring him in. He concurred. Welcome, TKBreezy, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
What's going on, man? Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Instead, we're going to be over here talking. We're going to be watching some good Smash. Before that, we're just going to have a nice little talk about everything that's going on right now. I did notice that your chat right now, SpeedKicks, said it's still sub-only mode, so you might want to... Oh, there you go. You fixed it. All right, sick. All right, anyway. Yeah, man, we came here to, you know, rap with y'all a little bit, you know, kind of tell y'all the experience of what it's like growing up black, you know, what ways you can help, what ways you know, what ways we may be able to help, I guess you understand the severity of what's going on, and just the plight of, you know, black people since the beginning of time, to be honest. But yeah, you know, since my birth, since my dad's birth, since my granddad's birth, you know, all that good stuff. We're gonna be chatting it up.
All right, sounds good to me, boss. So we're gonna start things off before we get into this match on the setup between Samsora and ESAM. I like to have an open dialogue, man, open conversation. I know that there are people who wonder, right? What's happening? Why do we feel that way? Or if you have a stance one way or the other, that's fine. Now's the opportunity to talk to us. If you have questions, and let's just, I'm a very real individual. I tell you like it is. Ignorance is fine. It's fine. If you don't know something, that's cool. But when you're voluntarily going extra, I'm just going to ban you on sight. So, if you feel a way about something, man, let me know so we can talk about it. We got a good 20 minutes before we get into the set. And for those of us who have friends who don't understand how they can help with their privilege, or if you want to know about some of the pain and why I feel so strongly and why I've been so vocal about this, same as TK, talk to us, man. We out here. We are out here. What do I know about this match? Taranga, what is going on, boss? You've been in here. You came from Mortal Kombat and you stayed. I told you we'd be back a little bit. Yes, Black Lives certainly matter. Hello, Agent Sloth. What's up, everybody going on? Yes, you can all chat. Don't worry. All right, SpeedKicks, what is going on, baby? Don't be afraid. My chat, normally, we don't shun people. We don't gang up on people. We don't make people feel bad about terrible opinions. We just try to help, and we just try to make shit happen, man. So if there's something you don't understand, or you feel a way about, man, why is this happening? Why is that happening? I mean, start you off with a story, right? So, for me personally, you know, police anything, this is not new. I grew up in the projects down south in Miami and further south in the Homestead area here in South Florida, and it's all I've ever known. My first run-in was when I was 9 years old, and the police came, and they just came to my neighborhood storming. Everybody's running, and I'm a 9-year-old kid. I don't know what to do, but since everybody else ran, guess what I did? I ran. Young KP, and still to this day, is not afraid of heights, so I climbed on the roof to get away from stuff, and from that roof, I witnessed the police catch one of the neighborhood dudes, and I saw him take drugs out of his pocket, enough for like a decent conviction, and plant it on him. And the words still burn in my head to this day. Oh, how does it feel? You let a cracker catch you. And that never went away. I was 9. You know what I'm saying? And I have 2 or 3 people who were there, and they listen. Don't come for me. Like, I have no reason to cap. That was the first of a string of incidents. I'll give you a more recent one, and just to show you how global this can be. DreamHack Montreal, just last year. It was like 1 a.m. and we decided to walk to the gas station, right? We were up. We couldn't sleep. Myself, ESAM, Mars, SpeedKicks, we all, you know, stayed together. So it was just me and ESAM. Me and ESAM went out. And the police followed us for 2 blocks. And then when we bent a corner on a more visible street, they sped up and stopped right next to us and pointed at me and told me I fit the description. I wasn't even home in America. I was in Canada. And you know what I did? When I realized the police were coming, I told ESAM, yo, you have to do the talking. He understood immediately. He complied. And ESAM did the talking and got us out of there with no trouble. It's just facts, man. I just, you understand, as Mayday, thank you so much for the donation, man, starting things off. TK, man. Got any stories, boss?
I got some story. I got 2 stories, but also got like before we hop into these stories, I just realized I was looking at the news lately, or you know, obviously lately, but I saw that Miss Universe Malaysia apparently said something. Oh yeah, I was like, so I read that again. I had to make sure. I thought it was Miss America, which, you know, thank God it was Miss America, but Miss Universe Malaysia said that, you know, black people gotta relax, and that you chose to be born as a colored person in America for a reason, to learn a certain lesson. Now, I'm never gonna not want to be black. I love myself. You know what I'm saying? I love being black, all that good stuff. But I didn't, you know, I wasn't like up in heaven, you know, with the options. This wasn't a creative character type deal. I didn't get to choose, you know, what skin color, what race I was born into, or whatever. But with me being born, also did not choose to be discriminated against just because I'm a different color than the rest of America. Now, I don't know what message she was trying to get across, but that was not a hit. That was that was not a hit. You were not born. You did not choose who you were born to, and when you were born, and how you're born. You know, like, that is all up to whenever your parents decide to procreate, or whatever else other methods there was to make you. So that kind of burned me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was very ignorant. I'm not sure why she even thought that was the message to send, but yeah, man. Going back to some of the stories, I think for most of my life, from about like grade 1 to 5, I lived in predominantly black areas. So racism wasn't like a super huge issue, but still, my parents still had to talk with me about, you know, cops, about, you know, you don't have to be afraid of them or whatever. But the thing is that, like, you need to handle it differently. There's certain things that you just will not be able to do or not be able to say and get away with as a black man. And this is as a black kid. I mean, I'm 5 years old, you know, having this talk with my parents about, you know, just in case you ever get in trouble, you know. I had one time I had called, my mom had like went out to like the club or something. I had an older brother, so it wasn't like I was just home by myself, but my mom went out to the club or something, and I'm like 6 or 7. Me and my brother get into it. My dumb ass, I call 911, right? Like, I call 911 because they're like, emergency, you know, I need to find my mom, whatever. So I call 911. They show up to the house. She was so mad at me when she came back home. She was like, do not bring that, do not bring this unnecessary attention to the house. And I never knew like what repercussions could have happened there, But when I look back on it, like, I'm like, all right, you know what? That was real dumb. That was real dumb of me, man. I think every kid has a 911 story at some point in time. But at that point in time, I didn't really realize the severity of what was going on. And my other story is from 6th and 7th grade. I moved to Virginia. I moved to like Colonial Heights, which right outside of
Part of the Confederates,
yeah, bro. I moved right outside of Fort Lee, so it was
the South. SOUF.
It was not good over there.
The South.
But I moved over there, 6th and 7th grade. Went to a very predominantly white school. I think I was one of like 5 black kids in the 6th and 7th grade, and one of them came in halfway through the year. So basically 4 of us. Me and 2 of them got along. Me and the other one is like, you're not gonna get along with everyone, but whatever. I remember that my school ride, the 6th, 7th, 8th graders always together, whatever. And also so were the high schoolers, because they would drive past the high schoolers. So my brother was going to high school. I'm in middle school. As soon as he got off the bus, there was always these 8th graders that would always just start, they would be like throwing pencils at me. They would be calling me the N-word, all that other good stuff, or whatever. So one day my brother got, he was there one time, and he actually fought one of the 8th graders or whatever when he was, I think my brother was in like 10th grade. He beat him up, all that good stuff, whatever. Still, after that happened, every time he got off the bus, they was making fun of me, whatever. So there's this after school program that we used to do for like, kids who like wouldn't go home immediately because like their parents would be home or whatever. And I was part of that program. But in this program, one of the kids who was always making fun of me was also in this program with me, But when he was in the program, he was not like that, we were actually very cordial, which the only thing that showed me is that racism is a learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? That is a learned behavior. You don't just wake up one day and decide I would be a racist. You don't, you obviously won't even learn those ideals that people are different unless you were taught that. And so going forward, obviously all of you, any of you planning to have children, any of you who, have younger siblings or whatever like that, you need to teach them the right from wrong. You need to teach them that, racism is not wrong. Or is very wrong. You should not be judging someone based off the color of skin. You should be judging someone solely off their character. Solely off the character. Doesn't matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, I think that's one of the biggest lessons that needs to be taught while we're doing all this Black Lives Matter. That racism is learned behavior, and that if you are somehow racist right now, can be reformed.
Correct.
You might have to. You got to do some. Correct. You might have to do some work for it, but you can definitely be reformed.
Yeah, let me get to that. That is definitely the most important part. You can change. You can get there. I don't believe in the whole, destroying somebody's character for the entirety of their life, depending on the severity of the problem. Right? Racism is something that, in itself, isn't a crime. But the actions from it are. Also, it shouldn't be normal, right? If you're one of those people who's like, hey, look, I treat black people, whatever people, normally, that doesn't make you great. It makes you normal. And that's what it should be. Like, again, you are just born. The end. I came out, my mother was like, I'm having a kid. Brian, here you are. And now I'm out here. And even though I'm a little lighter, right? Black people know I'm black. The police know I'm black. It's just foul. And I like to think that this behavior can't be changed. When you look at lifetime career activists, right? You say, KP, you don't usually talk this much about a subject. This is true. Because the way I see it is that a lot of these people go their entire lives dedicating to a cause, and they don't get to see what happened as we think for another donation. Yo, $500 before the matches even start. Y'all is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Back to my point is that it won't stop. Tired Mexican, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I know I haven't got all the names, but again, this is more about the cause instead of the individuality. Every single dollar is going straight through. I'll have all the receipts on deck. Y'all know I don't get down like that, so it'll be good, man. Bacher Gang, thank you as well. But before that, it's passed down, 100%, right? I got lucky enough to where growing up in my family, on the black side, we didn't hate on the rest. The white side of my family, completely racist. I don't know them. They didn't care to bother with me ever my whole life. They don't even know how to spell my little brother's name, and his name is Steven. Right? They do the PH. It's never been there. It's a V. And like it's I'm 31 years old, right? The only time I've been contacted by them was like for some money. What? This is the same people who, when my mother was younger, because she had me when she was 20, right? Turning 21. And then she had my mom had 3 kids at 25. And she wanted my family on that side to like watch us so she could, do whatever. Cool, no big deal, right? My little sister, the oldest girl of my mother's children, who's like real dark, she's of Haitian descent. When my mom showed up with all 3 of us, because she was darker, she refused to watch us. That's something I grew up with. Like, and you wonder why I feel, one way about something when I've watched it happen personally. I watched it happen to my friends. I watched it happen to my family. Like, it's you name the avenue, and I've been there. I've been to countless tournaments, right? I've been everywhere. Players can tell you the things that we've seen in those days where we're not in the venue. How the police have done this or that, or how we got stopped going out to eat at 1 a.m. Or there's too many of us at one spot, so we need the ESAM to speak up for us. It's disgusting. I can get directly into more police stories, but we got a long stream. TK, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and set up that room for me, boss.
I got you, brother.
But
I had another note I wanted to hit on before we get up into these streams real quick. One of the things that like has been kind of burning me up that I've been seeing as well too. I've seen a lot of people using, talking about the Bible, talking about Christianity and whatnot. Now, I'm not the most religious person, but I was a Christian at a point in time. When I was younger, my parents, we went to church, all that good stuff. I don't like that people are using that as part of the all lives matter rhetoric, because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, obviously everyone matters. No one ever is saying that. But
absolutely.
The thing is, when we are talking about Black Lives Matter, we are not saying we are better than y'all. We are mostly saying we want to be treated equal. We are mostly saying we don't want to be hunted down just for the color of our skin. We are mostly saying that the injustice that happened to us happened at a far larger rate than any other race. And that is an issue. Like, that is an issue. You know what I'm saying? There's been statistics showing that Black people are the second most, killed group from police. But the thing is, Black people only make 13% of this country in comparison to the 78% of white people. So when you use like fractions, when you use ratios, that ratio is very, very skewed heavily into our favor. And so when I'm seeing people using Christianity and stuff, but also using it for all lives matter, but also using it for racism, that makes no sense to me. Because if you are, a Christian, if you're supposed to love what God made, God, in your eyes has made us. So you still hating his creations. So how can you claim to be a Christian, but then also hate his creations just because they don't look like you? That don't make no sense to me, bro. That doesn't make no sense to me, man.
Yeah, there's just way too much of the there's way too much back and forth about things that aren't integral to the main points. And when you purposely choose to ignore the actual purpose of anything, not just this movement in specific, that's where you lose us. Basic math is something that people say, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to need this shit in life, but then you can't apply it when it comes to percentages, when you spew that nonsense about what's actually going on. Is it not enough to be the majority, be in control of, everything since, the dawn of American time, and just, dare I use the word, use us for almost everything? But as soon as we just want to be viewed as equal, which we know we haven't been in the grand scope of society, once the people revolt, that's when you really want to talk, right? You want to militarize everything, right? You want to kill people. You want to shoot the innocents. And by the way, those innocents are made up of all type of backgrounds. As we pass the 1K mark before the matches even start, I just want to say
that's big, bro.
thank
You gonna have to rise that thing up. You
yeah,
don't even gotta rise that thing up. Y'all should just keep on donating regardless of us passing the goal, man.
Yeah,
the bigger the spirit bomb, the better.
I just want to be like reasonable, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing this for multiple games. And then Ultimate kicked down the door and said, hey, look, man, if I couldn't get, you know, the Sakurai to you know, buff my skin tone, can we do that? Can I say, Miyamoto, please, you know what I'm saying? Make me darker, dog. Make me lighter so they can love me. Like, it doesn't work like that. But what does work is when the people band together, and united we stand, divided we fall is much more than just black people. It's people as a whole. You look at the protests and everything going around the world. Every country has people like marching at the embassies. Like, this shit isn't cool. Like, what is going on? And here we are in the middle of a global pandemic. 40 million Americans unemployed. Everything that could possibly go wrong within the realm of reality and, you know, holding on to stability as is happening. And you mad because we just want you to stop killing us and give us a chance. I will never understand it. But I do understand that the only violence, the only language that some people speak is violence, and violence comes in many ways. It doesn't have to be physical. Violence to them is any type of insubordination or fight against the machine of the system. And until we get that, it ain't gonna stop. So I'm gonna do my part. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Gandhi. Definitely not Gandhi. I'm not Malcolm X. I'm not MLK. I'm not, you know, any of those dudes. I'm just a dude who loves video games, who has a voice. And again, TK, get the room set up, boss.
Yeah, it's up there, man. I sent you the code.
Cool. Oh, you didn't want to put the code out there, man? Hold on, man.
Nah,
talk to me. You know I don't know how to do this shit, man.
I put the code out in the. I put that joint straight out in your Discord, man. We good.
All right, cool. Let me get in there right quick. Talk to him for me a little bit.
Chat, so how y'all feeling, chat, man? We just, you know, we out here vibing, bro. You know, if you learn anything today, if you learn anything over this next few months, that's good. You know, it don't matter if it don't matter if you black and you learn something new about black people. Like, for instance, straight up, man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I actually learned about Black Wall Street this week. You know, I did not know about that. I did not know that they went and burnt down the buildings of one of the most successful areas of black businesses. They just straight up went over there and burnt that thing down. And so I never heard about that until this week. And so even as a black man, I'm actually learning things as well. So if you learn it as well, man, I feel like that's really what you should be trying to gain from this area. If you can't go out there and protest, you know, if you immunocompromised or you just, you know, you don't want to risk it, that's fine. That's fine, man. Get out there and find yourself some petitions to sign. You know, find some orgs to donate to, bro. I've retweeted several orgs that you can donate to. I've retweeted a whole thread that just had like 10 to 15 links to just orgs you can donate to, petitions you can sign. No money are required. You go in there, you sign that petition to move that thing forward. And, you know, all of that helps. Also, I put that message out there today. Please do not use the Black Lives Matter hashtag when you're using those black squares. Yeah. One, I think that black squares thing, I don't know who came up with that. It almost feels like sabotage, straight up. But you're in the Black Lives Matter hashtag. There was a lot of relevant information for protesters, for people who are looking to help and all that. Right now, it's being drowned out by those black squares. You have to scroll very, very, very far down on Instagram to find, find information now. So if you're going to if you really want to use the black squares, then use Blackout Tuesday. But if you really want to help, then post relevant information under the Black Lives Matter hashtag on Instagram.
Yeah, with me, as we set things up, Samsora and ESAM, if you are listening, you can go ahead and join the room. TK has set it up and sent you guys the info, I'm sure. All right, cool.
Through your DMs. Check your Twitter DMs, guys.
Yeah, check Twitter. As we come back over here, yes, to Pigeon 2305, who says, if the protests were, let me not get your words wrong, so let me go back and catch it, right? They were more peaceful. If the protests are peaceful, they will have more impact. I disagree. We've done that. And
yeah, we've done that.
You look at the biggest, and that's not saying I'm condoning, looting and all of that. I'm just somebody who values the lives of us and anybody. but you know what this is about. Us more than some property value. Now those people, if you can handle them when you got your footage and everything and arrest them at a later date, sure, go right ahead. If you can catch them while they're out there, awesome, go for it. But don't let that distract you from the fact of what is going on. And the biggest events, the biggest movements always happen when the action happens, right? You look at MLK, and after he got assassinated, everything that happened in such a quick time all of a sudden, right? When you look at, and you can go through the history, you don't need me to relay this information to you. I just think that now we're in an era where so much is out there in the move of social media and the internet. You can't really escape it if the voice is loud enough. And a lot of people talk and just leave things alone, which is why I don't really mess with like too many like trendy things, like going back on the blackout. I'm against that because I feel as if it's a little misguided because we shouldn't quell ourselves. The voices should be loud. When you want people to take a day off to reflect on the things that they need to learn, to maybe understand why they can't see things the way that we do, that's not going to work. These people do not care. And if you want them to volunteer their time and their efforts to find out why something is wrong, then it'll just continue as usual. Just follow the status quo. So we gotta keep going. All right?
Yeah. The looting and the pillaging, I'm gonna tell y'all right now that some of that may have came from the riots and the protests, but some of that is just people, is agents of chaos, man. In fact, a decent amount of that I feel like is agents of chaos. I've seen quite a few people who ain't got no signs on them, who don't like they was there at all, just showing up to see what they can grab. Now, as far as condoning that, man, is it sending a message? Because I feel like the message that needs to be sent is that lives are not less important than businesses that can rebuild. You can't rebuild a life. Once you dead, you dead. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it.
Yes.
And the fact that like, yeah, man, a couple targets gonna get broke into. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Shit sucks for them, but they gonna make it back. You
Correct.
know what I mean?
Corporations will weather this storm. They will.
I don't get that. I don't get the logic behind that. Like, I'm not saying that I want it to happen, but I definitely understand why it is happening. And this peaceful protest turning into what it is turning into is exactly that. Like, as we said, we have sat and tried to do peaceful protests. We've sat and asked to be treated better. We have sat and done that. Y'all want to listen, so now we got to make y'all see it. And that right there is like, it's like action and reaction. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if I come through and I'm like, hey, look, bro, I need y'all to stop killing me. And y'all continue to keep killing me. Eventually, or y'all keep hitting me, whatever. Hey, stop hitting me. Eventually, we gonna hit back, And that's what's happening. That's what you're seeing. We gave y'all a chance. As the ancient black proverb said, we try to tell y'all, man. We try to tell y'all, but
bro,
y'all ain't want to listen, bro.
There's a very good tweet circulating, and I forget the woman's name, and I'm paraphrasing here. It said, when you saw people crying the day after the election in 2016, it wasn't because we were scared. It's because we knew that these days would come. While everything is definitely not on Trump, as the leader and a huge catalyst and like stoking the fire. I don't even want to go over the events of yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting all the people at the church and just the countless innocent protesters. And I'm not talking about like, because I'm very real. There's protesters who like stand in the line and then they keep like taking an inch closer towards the police. Yeah, I understand when the police go for them. But to that kid who's on his knees pleading, you know what I'm saying? Pleading to them, trying to understand, or to the media person who's doing their job, who has the access to be wherever they need to be without violating any laws, or the pregnant woman, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever have you. There's just some things that, one, you don't do because of the law, and two, like, where's your morality as a fucking human? Like, that's what we want. Why are you pepper spraying 9-year-old kids? Why are you, I can go on all day, right? You open Twitter and every 5 minutes you can find something new. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's somebody who wants to be Pitt and bow and arrow shit, or it's some guy running around with a sword and then has all of that side saying that people were trying to get him when he comes out and says that it was on him. There's just so much of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The people who are just, you know, doing what they can, because you can't do anything in terms of power to these people. They have all the weapons, they have all the organization, they don't care. You can't even do that peacefully. So it's wild, man. But we're ready to get this started. We are just waiting for Samsora to get in here. ESAM's here.
I'm about to tweet at him or something. Like, what?
That's all that's happening. Hey, yeah, absolutely. The chat.
That thing that you brought up though is very true, man. I definitely saw that video of that dude had his hands up, you know, back and back, and that cop still pulled his mask down to spray him with mace.
Yeah, that's
like, how crazy is that, bro?
I don't know.
Pulled his mask down just so he could spray him. Like, he wanted to make sure he got his point across. And the dude was already, he wasn't saying nothing. He was back and back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get up out of here. I've seen many of those videos where the police are telling these people to move, and they are moving, and the police are still like pushing them and hitting them with their shields and with their batons and stuff as they are already moving away from wherever they're supposed to be moving from.
Yeah, the Philly one definitely got me, man. Pushed them on the side of the highway, up against a grass hill, it was called Vine Street something, and they just couldn't move, and then maced them up. I don't understand the logic. And then the mix up. I swear they're definitely fighting game players for sure. These guys last stock, a lot of percent, rage active. Oh, let me take this knee right quick with the players, and they come in, and as soon as 20 minutes passes, bow, here we go. Knock them down, bum rush them, all of that shit. I don't understand it. You're seeing reports from mayors in different cities who are like, look, we have this information. The majority of the people inciting these crimes are doing the things that you want to blame the black people for and say, oh, this is what your protest looks like. It ain't us, baby. Then you have other reports where it's just like, oh, the police are doing this. You got these calls coming out from the NYPD where they're saying, shoot them motherfuckers, and light them up in Minnesota, and just all of this. It's you got the Trump calls, telling everybody to dominate the citizens. Like, what are you talking about?
What kind of language is that?
What are you talking about? All right?
That is crazy.
Mr. Biggs, I am not Canadian. I am from South Florida, baby. Florida may as well be the craziest part of the country. As I want to thank y'all so much before we even get started. Again, we are ready to go. We're just waiting for Samsora to get into the lobby. And down here actually hasn't been too crazy. Leave it up to Florida to stay out of the headlines for now. But tensions are high. A couple things near my place have been on fire, but nothing too crazy. The police are doing their job of like forcing the unofficial curfew. It's time, right? That's what's happening. So I don't want it to get crazy. I'm ready if it does, but I don't want that. We have to do whatever it takes until the point where the powers that be are finally ready to sit down and bring this change on paper. We got to do something about how police work, man. We got to do something from the top to the bottom. And don't make it just token. Okay, let's make sure we have at least one black CEO here. Nah, shit like that is why it seems disingenuous. This is why when companies put out these tweets and say, oh, you all have seen the template. We've been struggling to find the words, but we at blank, blank, blank stand with blah, 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 blah for this, blah, 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 blah. And then everybody quote retweets that shit and says, oh, you don't hire any black people in these positions, or you don't have people who do this. You know what it is. So stop with the forced, disingenuous, oh, just meet the deadline shit. Excuse me, not the deadline, meet the bare minimum. Just get that shit out of here. Just get it out.
Bro.
It's natural.
Gotta go above and beyond.
But yeah, let me get in here and try to get some representation. Isn't shit without liberation. I like that.
Also, so I just saw that dude got banned about the dude in the store trying to finish the store. It wasn't his store. There's actually more that came out in that story. He He was defending a bar that he liked.
Correct.
And he had no reason to even defend that bar that he liked. They weren't even going for it. So he was just out there with a sword.
Yeah.
And he got what he deserved.
He said he wanted to preemptively, meet just in case anybody did that because his barbershop that he owns got hit. So he wanted to protect the bar. And what was it? He said if the concierge got overpowered, that was the exact words.
Yeah, bro.
So he wanted to prevent it ahead of time. So he ran out there with the sword. Hello?
Yeah. Got done up. You know what I'm saying? Like
that right there was action reaction. You came out with deadly force, you got hit with force. You know what I mean? And I don't feel sorry for him one bit. Now, if he was just out there minding his business and he got jumped, yeah, I might feel sorry for him, But man's ran after those people with a sword. They weren't doing nothing to him. Ran out there, he got done up. And if you go to look at his Twitter, homeboy is a little psychotic anyway, bro. There's no reason. If you standing with him, you definitely standing against me. Yeah, come on, bro. What are you doing?
Touch a few more things in the chat here just to make sure these voices are being heard too. Shade of Tyranny says, everything I've been hearing is that the thing we need is full police reform. Reduce police funding, civilian oversight at minimum. Been donating the stuff for the protests, been trying my best to donate to the organizations working for overhauling the police across the nation. I'm there with you.
I'm with that.
Thank you. And yeah, it sounds wonderful, man. Also, if you have differing opinions, those are welcome too. Again, just be respectful. All lives, that shit's getting banned off rip because that lets me know that you don't understand the basic concept and you are purposely avoiding the issue in order to talk about something that's not even on point.
And it's been explained so many times with so many articles, so many so many different comics. I've seen the comic. I saw the comic with the two houses burning.
Yeah.
And or the one house was burning and the other house had I don't know, like a wet carpet or something. And they're like, look, dude, my house is burning right now. And he's like, but yeah, don't all houses matter? Or something something done like that. Like, look, I have an issue in my house too. And it's like, yeah, but you could just wipe yours up with a paper towel. I need real assistance here. And he's like, yeah, but all houses matter. That's what it feels like when you all lives matter. We're not saying that there's no plight in any other race. We're not, and honestly, all Black Lives Matter pretty much includes most minorities in general. But we're not saying there's no plight for white people. It's just your plight is so watered down by the privilege that you have that there needs to be no movement. You are not stifled for being white. You're not stifled in a way that actually matters in America for being white. Yeah, you might not be able to step in the middle of Baltimore and say the N-word, but you shouldn't want to do that anyway. You know what I mean? That's not something that needs to be on your agenda. However, there are certain things in life that you can do and not have to worry about anything that we can't do because we still have to worry. You can't just up and straight talk to the cops, or you can just up and straight talk to the cops any which way you want. More often than not, they're going to respect you. The minute our voice starts getting loud, it's a hostile situation. That's when y'all start getting crazy with the tasers, the guns out, the batons out. You know what I mean? That's stuff that most white people do not have to worry about. And that is why the Black Lives Matters movement is so important for blacks and minorities just in general. And so anytime I see that all lives matter, that's why I get so burnt up. We're not taking anything away from you. We're not taking anything away from you because we have nothing to take away from you. And I knew the arena was going to get shut down. I hate Samsora so much.
Bro, Samsora, please. Samsora,
I hate him
listen,
so much.
I want to let it be known that while this is a very serious subject and thing we're doing here for charitable purposes, this is not a come and cry your tears out. We're still gonna play some Smash. We're still gonna have some fun. We're gonna do some commentary and enjoy the show because that's the piece. This is still a service that we want to present to you. But we can't have ESAM versus Samsora if Samsora's not here. So just please be patient.
I think he's spitting right now.
Please be patient with us. But we just need Samsora. Samsora, please. Oh my god. You know what's crazy too? I was about to pull a commentary switch off and denounce ESAM because ESAM is ex-Florida boy, even though he PG, but Samsora's current Florida boy. So what's up? But he letting me down right now, man. He's letting me down. Samsora, please. Where are you?
All right, here we go. I'm hitting him again. Here we go. I gotta keep moving back and forth so that way we can keep the arena open. Here we
All
go.
right,
Let me hit you again as well.
Yeah, for sure. For you guys saying that I should just boost the goal up, what do you think is a reasonable number? I'm not trying to be OD. I just, I just thought 1K was decent. Y'all have already killed it. Like,
to be real, bro, we got 15 matches. We have potentially 30 matches to talk about. I think we can go to 2.5 at least.
All right, 2.5. We'll do 2.5 nice. to be reasonable. All right, let's do that.
Or 3K. 2.5, 3K, one or the other.
All right,
something like
cool.
That.
Hold it down while I change that then.
All right. Guys, again, man, thank y'all for coming through. If you're coming from my chat as well, I know I posted this link place. I know I retweeted. If you're coming through, I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all being here, man. It's been big. I've been struggling over the last few days, man, because like right before all this happened, right before COVID and things, I was working real hard on my mental health, man. And then COVID hit, and then the riots hit, and then the injustices started, getting mad heavy. And I just started, man. That joint was affecting me heavy. So I'm back in therapy now. I'm back on my meds, whatever. But it's nice to see people really turning up, for these causes. This has been a life I've lived forever, and honestly, I haven't been affected nearly as hard as a lot of people may have. But at the end of the day, I want people to feel safe. Feel as safe as I do in most situations. I want people to understand when we don't feel safe, why we don't feel safe. And y'all being here and supporting this cause while educating yourselves, while supporting to the cause, while supporting any other cause, while signing petitions, all that shows that y'all actually care. And that means a lot to me and honestly to the Black community,
Yeah, sounds good to me, boss. It's like, it's rough. COVID was definitely the big shift in the lives of everyone. And then we got hit with the double whammy, 2020. And to think we're in June, man. And even in the heart of everything that's serious, man, I saw a meme that hurt so much. Me being a Florida boy, that shit was a picture of LeBron, like, kneeled down with the angry game face that said, "Oh, Hurricane XYZ ready to come in this shit in Game 6." Like, I'm like, bro, it's out of control.